I can't talk long. They're watching.
Vitals?
Pulse 110, BP 9060.
Okay, let's get the kit.
Got it.
Ma'am, we're here to help.
She left him $7 million. The camera shows who stopped it. CCTV. On Friday, April 12th, in Scottsdale, Arizona, a fixed security camera mounted high on a stucco entry pillar captures a woman's SUV easing through the gate of a private community just after dusk. The lens is angled slightly downward, wide enough to catch the keypad, the iron bars sliding open, and the sweep of headlights across desert landscaping. The vehicle pauses, the driver's window lowers, and a hand punches in a code that works on the first try. The gate parts. The SUV rolls forward, and for a moment, just long enough for the camera to register the driver's face in the glow of the dashboard, you see her eyes, focused, tired, still alert, still in control. Her name is Marlene Kincaid. She's 68 years old, a widow, no children, the kind of woman Scottsdale friends describe as careful with everything, including her trust. She made her money the slow way, the unglamorous way, the way that doesn't make headlines. Commercial real estate deals across the Phoenix metro, mostly strip centers and small medical office buildings. Properties that looked ordinary, but produced steady income year after year. The type of portfolio you build by outlasting bad markets and bad partners. Marlene isn't the person you'd picture being pulled into a story like this. Not because she was sheltered, she wasn't, but because she had spent her adult life reading people for a living. Tenants, brokers, contractors, attorneys, bankers. She negotiated leases like a chess player. She once told a friend that a signature is a weapon if you don't know who's holding it. She had a dry humor and a strict sense of privacy. When her first husband died, she didn't melt down publicly. She handled the funeral, handled the estate, handled the life insurance, handled the quiet nights after everyone went home. And then, late in life, she fell into something that looked like happiness from the outside. His name is Derek Caldwell. He's 42, polished, fit, good hair, good handshake, the kind of man who looks like he's always just stepped out of a nicer version of whatever room he's in. He meets Marlene at a charity luncheon through a mutual contact. He's attentive in a way that feels flattering, but not desperate. He remembers small details. He sends flowers without overdoing it. He makes her laugh. He tells people he's never met a woman like her. Within months, Derek is in her gated community regularly. Within a year, he's calling her his fiancée. Her friends try to be happy for her, but it's complicated. When a wealthy older woman gets engaged to a younger man, everyone pretends not to do the math, not to wonder what's real and what's performance. In Scottsdale, people are polite. They make jokes about cougars and second chances. They smile and raise glasses and say, "Good for you, Marlene." But afterward, in kitchens and car rides home, they ask each other in quieter voices, "Do you think she's safe? Do you think he's for real? Do you think she's thinking clearly?" Marlene insists she is. She tells her closest friend, Evelyn Pierce, that Derek makes her feel seen again. She says she likes having someone around. She says she's tired of eating dinner alone in a house that's too quiet. Evelyn accepts that answer, but she doesn't stop watching. Friends like Evelyn don't. They don't interfere, but they pay attention. They pay attention when Derek starts speaking on Marlene's behalf in conversations. They pay attention when Marlene, who used to show up to lunch with a folder of notes and a plan for the afternoon, begins canceling appointments. They pay attention when Marlene's longtime housekeeper, Rosa Alvarado, mentions that Derek has been rearranging things in the house. Rosa has been with Marlene for 9 years. She cleans, organizes, stocks the pantry, does light cooking when Marlene wants it. She knows where everything belongs. She knows Marlene's moods by the way the front door closes. She knows when Marlene is trying to keep something private because Marlene will suddenly become very specific about small requests. Rosa isn't family, but in a house with no children, the people who show up every week become something close. In late March, Marlene updates her will. It's quiet, no party, no announcement, just paperwork. The executed document, filed properly, leaves nearly $7 million in assets and cash equivalents to Derek Caldwell. To some people, that sounds romantic. A late-life vow turned into a legal promise. To Marlene's friends, it feels like a door locking. And to Derek, It feels like a life raft. Because what nobody knows at first, what Derek has gone to lengths to hide, is that he isn't stable. Not financially, not emotionally, not in the way his tailored shirts and confident smile suggest. He has debt. He has loans. He has a gambling habit that isn't occasional and fun, but compulsive and expensive. The kind of habit that doesn't just drain money, it drags a person into lies. Marlene doesn't know the full extent. She knows he had some issues a few years ago. That's how he frames it. Some rough patches, some mistakes. But he tells her he's fixed it. He tells her he's rebuilding. He tells her he's trying to be worthy of her trust. And maybe, at times, he believes that. But then the cameras begin recording the last days of Marlene Kincaid's life, and the story turns into something else. The night captured by the community gate camera is the night before Marlene dies. After Marlene's SUV passes through the gate, she drives toward her home. Another camera, this one a driveway unit mounted above her garage, catches her pulling in, the headlights washing over the door, the garage lifting. She steps out alone. She's dressed nicely, not in pajamas or sweats, like she's been out to dinner or a meeting. She pauses at the trunk, takes out a tote bag, and stands still for a second, as if she's listening to the quiet. Then she goes inside. 23 minutes later, another vehicle appears. A dark sedan pulls up, smooth and deliberate, and parks at the curb. Derek Caldwell gets out carrying what looks like a thick manila folder tucked under his arm. He walks to the front door without hesitation, like a man who expects to be let in, like a man who knows the house will open for him. Marlene opens the door. She doesn't hug him immediately. That detail seems small, but later it matters. There's a distance in her posture, a stiffness. She gestures him inside, and the door closes. He stays 3 hours. Neighbors will later tell police that sometime after midnight they heard voices. Not screaming, but raised. The kind of argument you hear through walls when people are trying not to be overheard and failing. One neighbor, an older man who lives 2 houses down, tells detectives he heard a woman say, "No, Derek, no." Another neighbor says she heard something hit a wall, maybe a door, maybe a piece of furniture. She doesn't call the police because she doesn't want to be that neighbor. In a gated community, people like to believe drama doesn't happen, or if it does, it stays behind the closed doors of the people who can afford it. Later, everyone will replay that decision in their minds, the moment they heard something and did nothing. In the early morning hours, Marlene's smart home system logs show that interior cameras go offline for 47 minutes. The outage isn't a power failure. The exterior driveway camera continues recording. The Wi-Fi doesn't drop. The system shows manual access. A user logs in from Derek Caldwell's phone. It's one of those details that, in real life, might mean nothing until it doesn't. Until you line it up against everything else. Until you see how modern houses keep quiet records of human behavior. Doors opening, cameras disabling, alarm codes entered, lights turned on at odd hours. At 2:13 a.m., the driveway camera captures Derek in the front courtyard. He's on the phone. He's pacing, barefoot or in socks, moving in tight loops like a man trying to burn off panic. He keeps looking toward the street, then back at the house. He gestures with his free hand, sharp movements, like he's arguing. The audio from that camera is limited, mostly wind and distant hum, but you can see his mouth moving fast. You can see the tension in his shoulders. Then he goes back inside, and as the door closes, the house swallows him, quiet again, like nothing is happening. The next morning, Rosa Alvarado arrives at 9:05 a.m. Her routine is consistent. She knows Marlene likes the kitchen reset, likes her windows wiped, likes her linens done a certain way. Rosa's entry code works at the side door. The smart lock clicks. She steps in and immediately feels something is off, not in a dramatic way, but in the way you feel when you walk into a room and sense a mood. The air is cool, the blinds are drawn. There's a faint chemical smell, like cleaning spray. Rosa calls out, "Senora Kincaid?" No answer. She moves through the house quietly, careful, almost respectful of the silence. She notices a glass on the kitchen counter with cloudy water. She notices a folded blanket on the couch as if someone slept there. She notices, in a trash can, crumpled paper towels with brownish stains. Then she finds Marlene in her bedroom. Marlene is in bed, on her back, the sheets pulled up neatly, like someone tucked her in. Her skin looks pale. Her mouth is slightly open. She doesn't respond. Rosa's first instinct is medical. She rushes to the bedside and touches Marlene's arm. It's cool, not cold like ice, but not warm like living skin. Rosa backs away, shaking, and dials 911 with trembling fingers. Paramedics arrive quickly. They do what they have to do. They confirm what Rosa already knows. And on paper, the first description makes it sound simple. Elderly female found unresponsive. Suspected natural death. That's how it begins, a death that could have been tragic, but ordinary. Then Derek Caldwell appears.